Hello, welcome back to the Smudging Sage Tarot. Before we start, let's take a moment to clear our space with the sage. Let the smoke remind us to trust our intuition and clear away deceit, illusion, and confusion. The Seven of Swords is a card of stealth, strategy, and hidden truth. Sometimes it shows deception, but sometimes it shows wisdom in knowing when not to speak. So let's put it here, closer to the camera. Little check. All right. Okay. So, in the Eight of Swords, which rules the element of air, we explore the realm of thoughts, intellect, and communication. The Seven of Swords takes us into our mental games with others and with ourselves, which is really unbearable. Anyway, the Seven of Swords is about strategy, secrecy, and perseveration. It can represent deception, trickery, or manipulation, but also independence, unconformity, and choosing your own way. This card often comes up when you are navigating a situation that requires subtlety. You have to be very strategic, careful thoughts, or hidden action. Sometimes hidden actions doesn't mean that you are doing something in the back of somebody else. It means that you have to be quiet. You have to hide your moves and then strike when it's time. Okay? And there is nothing bad in that. The key themes of this card, as I said already many times, are deception or dishonesty, unfortunately. But we have to know that's why the cards can prevent us or enlighten us about people's doing stuff on our back. Strategy and planning, avoidance or escape, protecting one's own interests, secrets, silence, or non-disclosure. Very simple. The symbolism of this card is it's really the man sneaking away with the Five Swords, suggests thief or escape. He looks back, implying guilt or worry about being caught. Two swords left behind, indicating unfinished business or truth left uncovered. Something in being avoided. And then camp in the distance, this camp here. He may be leaving a group or sneaking away from responsibilities. This symbolizes tension between independence and betrayal. In Guided Tarot, in Stephanie Caponi, like she suggests, this card is about personal boundaries and reclaiming power, but also warns of dangers or secrecy. Tina Gong frames it as a card of personal agency that requires ethical awareness. When does strategy become sabotage? So, guys, this card, I think, is one of the most complicated cards of all the deck. because it goes from being silent about what you are doing just to protect yourself, for example, is a possibility. Or altogether having somebody conspiring on your back. So it really depends on the context, but it's not like pulling this card with no context and knowing 100% what it is about. Of course, your gut feeling tells a lot, your connection to the higher self as well, but this is really a card highly volatile. It's about hair, it's about thoughts. So it is really open to so many things that relying on your gut, your intuition, it's crucial. So the number, of course, is 7, which means insight, introspection, and analysis. In swords, it represents intellectual tactics, possibility, cunning, or covert behavior. Astrologically speaking, often connected to the moon in Aquarius, it's a combination of logic, distance, and emotional detachment. Sometimes leads to hidden motives. So, what is the meaning upright when it shows up in a reading? This 7 of Swords can suggest secrecy, strategies, or avoidance. You may be acting quietly behind the scenes, or someone else may be hiding the full truth from you. This card doesn't automatically signal betrayal, as I said, and I want to repeat it. It can also reflect a need to protect your energy, keep plans private, or remove yourself from a situation with minimal conflict. You know, like sneaking away, you didn't do anything wrong, you just want to leave the things as they are, without drama, without making a fuss. You know, wisely, a wise move. So let's give some examples for your spreads, okay? Let's say this card comes out upright in a love and relationship reading. Someone may be holding back emotionally or acting out of fear or insecurity. For example, you are keeping feelings from someone hidden because you fear rejection, but it's creating distance and confusion. In a work and career reading, this card means that you may need to move in silence, protect your ideas, or leave a toxic environment discreetly. Okay, for example, you began a job searching privately while still employed. So you began a job searching privately while still employed at a company you no longer align with. So there is strictly nothing bad in this. But of course, you don't want to enter the office, say good morning, and tell everybody you are looking for another job. I mean, it's a matter of being wise. In a spiritual and personal reading, this is a time for introspection. You are learning how to discern what needs to be shared and what is sacred. For example, you pull back from social media or oversharing with the people, focusing on protecting your spiritual and emotional space. Once again, what's wrong in that? 7 of Swords. Okay, let's go and see what does it mean, the 7 of Swords in reverse. It can reveal truth coming to light, guilt, or the consequences of deception. Alternatively, it may indicate self-deception. You are not being honest with yourself about you want or who you trust. It might also mean you have done hiding. You are done hiding and ready to speak your truth, okay? So the advice here is to be honest with yourself, with others. If something is weighing on your conscience, now is the time to come clear or release the burden. Don't let secrets block your growth, okay? So, let's see. Reverse the Seven of Swords in love and relationship spread, okay? A secret is revealed, or you are ready to be vulnerable after holding back. For example, you admit to your partner that you have been emotionally distant and explain why, opening the door to reconnection. Remember, truth is always eternal. Work and career spread. This card in reverse means hidden agendas and that are going to be exposed, okay? Or you confront a dishonest situation. For example, you find out a colleague has been misrepresenting your work and finally bring it to light with your supervisors. Has to be done, especially in work, everywhere, but anyway. The Seven of Swords reversed in a personal and spiritual growth spread means that you recognize your own patterns of avoidance or self-sabotage. This is a biggie. Example, you realize you have been lying to yourself about your unhappiness in a situation, and now you are ready to take real steps forward, okay? So before I go to the final words, please remember to like, share and subscribe. More than the half of the people that watch this channel recurringly don't subscribe. So the Seven of Swords invites us into the shadows of the mind, okay? To face our shadows. It asks us to be wise, discerning, and aware of our motives and those of others, sometimes still in survival. But dishonesty can also trap us, okay? So whether you are moving in silence or facing hidden truth, this card reminds you to walk your path with the strategy and integrity. Thank you very much for being with me so far. Until next time. Ciao.